Payments suck. Why? Tell us why, Ali. Tell us
I
why.
think in today's day and age, for in terms of at least like business or small businesses, two top payment methods are like checks or credit card. And in my opinion, they both like you have e-transfers have limits, right? It's not the most straightforward either. Credit cards, so that one's not really a viable option. And e-transfer have that. I don't know why they have just that connotations, not professional. I don't know, right? Like some bigger companies won't even put on the table, even if it's like enough, but it's just I don't know, has that connotation. That might just be like in my own mind. And then the bigger two is checks and credit card. Credit cards obviously have the ridiculous fees. Checks, you gotta like actually send that paper to that person, and then they can eventually deposit it, even now I guess nowadays via phone, but you still have to send that piece of paper to them.
Or like you gotta send direct deposit somehow. Like gotta set up direct deposit.
Yeah, that's e-transfer. Or you do a wire, but I don't think regular businesses will accept wire transfer.
It's not complicated. Like,
yeah,
to me, it's complicated. Maybe if you do on like a more regular basis, it's not. There's nothing that's streamlined.
So wait, what's your issue with credit cards?
The fees, 3% basically.
For what fee? Oh, for the processor. Yeah.
Exactly.
The merchant.
Yeah, the merchant.
So 3% is ridiculously high.
Apparently, though, they stopped that. Credit cards, they got sued or something, and that case went on for a long time. And now merchants can pass on those costs to the customers.
Well, I think the issue with passing it on to the customers is that the bigger businesses won't, because for them 3% is whatever. Like I think a few companies that own, I guess, I don't want to say retail store, but something that sells something, but they also own the financial processor. I'm not going to name the said company, but there are companies in Canada that do own both sections, and for them they do make money out of the fees themselves anyways. So we're like, yeah, we're not going to charge our customer this 3% fee because we're going to get that fee through our business anyways. Right. So it really does kind of leave independent businesses in a rock and a hard place, because if you do pass on that charge, like you'll get less customers, but at the same time, if you don't, you're forced to eat that 3% cost. So I see where Ali's coming from.
Yeah. I really do think this is a big problem, right? Like there's like issues that merchants are having. I think with the e-transfer route, people are doing it more for mom and pop shops. But that works because it seems informal, and they will put it on the table because they're a smaller shop and it's quick, right? So they want the ease of e-transfer, but it would be good if it was branded a bit more as professional and formal way of accepting business money, right? Or money from customers. And especially even B2B, like as you said, it's usually done check or credit card. Even a B2B is, if it's like business transaction, they'd be like, we're doing it like a large sum payment. They're not going to do credit card charge.
Everybody wants to because they get the points.
That's fair.
I think if they can put it on credit card,
good point.
Unless if it's like really large, yeah, I'm sure.
That's the I guess the saying where if you're paying something with cash, you're subsidizing my credit card points for other people.
Yeah.
So when you go to a restaurant, someone pays with like cash. I'm like, dude, like, I guess whatever extra they're getting based on you, it's going to my credit card points.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense.
Businesses embed it, but even if you embed it, it still hurts. Like, no, you know what I mean? Even if you embed the price in there.
Like you mean the 3% on top of your charge?
Exactly. It still hurts when you have to like the business. And I think that as a certain, like if you're talking about like mom and pop shops like are like selling items with like $100-ish maybe, it still adds up. So if you compare like $100 item, let's say compare like $1,000 item, the $100 item, yeah, sure, 10 of them you're at the $1,000 mark, you're paying the same fees, if not more actually, because you pay 30 cents per transaction plus. But the convenience is worth that $3 maybe. But on like $1,000 mark, that's $30. $10,000.
So what about like Stripe? Do they take
3%.
Oh, is it?
Stripe, yeah, most of them are, it's 30 cents plus a 2.9% per transaction. And that's most of them. That's like majority of credit card processors. Online, at least. In store, it's different. In store, they can usually get much better rates, like 1.4, 1.5.
Right.
I think with online, the whole like there's not a card present, so security, you need to charge a little bit more for security and stuff like that, and like the chargebacks. It's like insurance. Like if you live in a high risk area, you'll pay more. So online's a little bit more risk.
Interesting.
What does PayPal charge?
Credit card?
No. Like if say you fund money into your PayPal account and you use that to buy stuff, how much does PayPal then charge the merchant?
I would want to assume or at least hope it's much better than 2.9, but then you're gonna tell your clients or the business or like the customers, hey, send us PayPal?
I mean, a
Like,
lot of
how is there not a standard? Like,
there is. It's Swift.
yeah, but like,
Well, no, Swift is for banks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
isn't
not for
that's money?
customers.
That's what was
No,
it for?
but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of online businesses do accept PayPal.
Yeah.
Online businesses. But I mean, I think what Ali is saying, like, let's say you're a services oriented business, right? You have a marketing agency, let's say, right? You provide social media services, right? And somebody wants to pay you for these services, right? And you draft up an invoice and all that kind of stuff, and you send it to them. The only way they really will pay you is through credit card and check. You can offer PayPal, but it seems, again, like Ali said, like e-transfer, it seems informal. It seems very PayPal seems very personable thing, right? Like you're sending it to your friends or you're buying
There's a
it
lot of
from a
steps.
person on eBay, etc. Yeah, exactly.
It's you gotta go in, you gotta like add the payee, all that. Like credit card, nothing beats the ease of credit card. Like they just type in the numbers and it's
Yeah.
so easy. But then you get that 2.9%. Even checks are pretty easy. It's just, but now you have to wait for you gotta send the paper,
It has to clear. It takes like 5 days.
and you have to send
Unless
the
it's
paper.
same bank to bank.
Most banks, yeah, you're right. It takes time to clear, but checks they'll clear, like they'll like do a temp clear or whatever. Like they deposit the money.
Yeah.
If it goes back, they'll take it back, but they'll
Yeah.
give you the funds.
Yeah. I remember that happened. My wife and I, we found a check for like, I think it was like $3,000 or something. And we're like, it wasn't expired yet. And we're like, shit, did we cash this? Right? And then we took a picture and we did it online, right? Through your app. And it sent the funds. We're like, holy shit. Like we did
Yeah.
not expect this, right? And then like a week later the funds went away. We're like, oh,
No.
we should have just emptied the account.
No, that it would have been emptied, but they'd
It would
go
have been
back.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're looking for, I think, is crypto payments, but I think those
I was
fees
gonna say
are a bit higher than 3%.
So I think there's something to be said there. I believe there are services like there, and if there isn't, hey guys, this is a good idea. You heard it here first on Select All Podcast. But essentially, what you should do is, as long as you have the same layer on top of Bitcoin, like the Lightning Network, it sends it very quickly because it doesn't actually clear it after a bunch of transactions. It only clears it after like hundreds or whatever. I think the number is. It's a L2 basically, it's layer on top of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and Lightning Network obviously is Bitcoin. So it will do all these transactions very quickly and then settle afterwards and put it on the block, right? And what that allows you to do is you can run the transactions very quickly and also have less transaction fees, right? Because you're sending a full transaction with a bunch of changes all at once, right? So it's less expensive, and so the charge per transaction is smaller, right? So I think that would be good, as long, and it'd be peer to peer, right? Like you don't have to worry about intermediaries, you don't have to worry about anything. It just goes direct.
There's
to
a
that
couple
person.
more worries, but I think the issue is an image of professionalism, right?
Yes.
Like I guess crypto is starting to gain a foothold, but like as Ali was saying, like it'd be I think even worse than asking for an e-transfer. So
Yeah.
here, send it to the sketchy
It's my Bitcoin address. Yeah.
Go make a wallet. But imagine if that was the case, you just copy this like the address and you just punch it in, punch the amount, and you're done. Because even e-transfer, I don't know. At least with RBC, it's not that easy. You have to like add the payee. Like
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Like
It's
why
actually
can't you
so
just put in the email address?
Yeah.
Why do you have to add them as a payee?
My hunches is that like especially with crypto, this comes up is that you have to know your customer in case the customer is like Iran or Russia, like anyone trying to evade sanctions. That's why a bunch of the legit like crypto companies make you go through like an ID
OFAC
process.
or
Yeah,
whatever check.
exactly. Right.
But why would you need to? Like, if they just put in your address, you have no concern. Like me as a person like receiving the money, there's no concerns there, right?
It is. It's your liability. Like it's your responsibility to verify whoever's paying you is not sanctioned.
And I guess
Like,
if it's just an address, anybody could really send you.
Yeah.
No, but that would still be the case even if any transfer, right? Like if I'm adding you as a person, if your account exists, I can just add your email, add your first name and last name,
Exactly,
and send
but,
it to you.
But the bank does the know your customer like rules, right? Because to register an auto depositable, like they know who sent it essentially.
You know
Once
who
it goes
sent
through,
and they know who received.
exactly.
But that's Ali's point, right? Like, okay, he's verified as a customer.
Yep.
Right. You are signed up for auto, like deposit, right,
Mhm.
on your side,
This is
he should
Bitcoin or e-transfer.
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 Okay.
So for Ali, all he should be able to do is just put your email in and send it to you. But what
Yeah.
he has to in fact do is actually go click add a name, first name, last name,
Oh,
then
that-
your email, then all that, and then send it, right?
Yeah, I think that's just for security and liability, to be honest. They make you go those steps so you know who you're sending it to and not just like a sketchy email. You're right.
Right.
They do need an email, but like there's going to be a case where someone's going to be like, hey, I sent it to this email. Like, who did I send it to? And the bank teller's going to be like, you sent it to this person that you set up. Like, you must know who this person is, right? Then
I guess.
Like,
I guess they were saying, yeah.
You learn to realize a lot of things are based on insurance and liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, it's like, I think there should be verification on set, sure, right? But like, you can verify the thing that's actually driving the payment is the email address, not the name, right? So, sure, for auditability, I understand that. But the email is what you should recognize who you sent the money to, right? Now, I guess you could add a nickname if you wanted to, right? Like, and that's what they make you do anyways. But if it's optional, I think that would have been a better experience, right? Because if you look at the case of like, you call the customer support and you say, hey, like, who did I send it to? You'd be like, this email, you didn't add the nickname, but this is the identifier, right?
You know what?
And to add it, you could just add email twice and that would solve the problem.
I think this is also due to the case that auto deposit wasn't a thing when e-transfer was released. Back then, it was literally the email and the identifiers, right? So if anything went wrong, a bank teller or like an employee can look at it saying, oh, this guy sent this transaction to John Smith, but he accidentally sent this to John Smitherton, even though they have similar emails. So they can be like, they have some recourse.
What happens in that case if you just because I don't have auto deposit on? Does it can you, like if you send it to the wrong address?
You can
goes
cancel.
through.
No, you can cancel though.
Cancel, but you can't get it back. Or
You can.
Wait,
You can accept. You do have, I think, a couple of days to be like, this was a
Really?
mistake, and they can reverse it. They do take a $5 charge.
Yeah. I've never had it where it's auto deposited and then I could take it back. I've done it where the person doesn't have auto deposited and then I can cancel it
Yeah.
and that costs
Yeah.
$5.
Maybe auto deposit isn't cancelable because it does show you who this is going to. But I'm guessing if you make up enough of a shitstorm, someone will reverse it.
Yeah. But
I don't
see,
know.
that's the thing. It's like,
if it was on the sender to decide,
Yo, man,
it should
people.
be on
Decide
the
what?
receive. Sorry.
to decide what?
If it just should get auto deposited or not, it should be on the sender. Like I know this is the correct person, because then we should just create infinite emails and set them all up for auto deposit, and you hope somebody will send it to the wrong email. You get what I'm trying to say?
That's hilarious. The problem is you'd have to you would have to set that every single email with your bank, and I'm sure they would
Yeah,
notice as
they'd
well.
be like, what are you doing,
How
dude?
many emails?
We're actually
I got a lot of emails, man.
yeah, I'm actually working on that. Most profiles don't have more than like 8-9 tokens, right?
One more time,
Most like people won't have like more than 8-9 tokens. Tokens meaning emails or mobile phone and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You can even accept payments in America through like phone numbers.
There's a lot of places in the world that you can do that. You can do that
India.
in Bangladesh. Yeah, same.
Yeah, they actually have an amazing system there. Apparently, like they've leap and bounds better than some of our systems in terms of payments. Right? I think adopting some of those payment structures would be good. But honestly, like I do believe that, like for example, Ethereum or Bitcoin, those layer 2 kind of technologies, they're very very quick and they will solve most of these problems and they'll get up to the transaction levels of credit cards. I think they're already there for the layer 2s, and even layer 1s are getting fairly fast now. Right? So I think it's very doable.
I think in this case, it's more of like a culture mindset to have legit businesses accept Ethereum or Bitcoin as legitimate payments.
I think that point is far away.
So
Is there a service that like, I guess we have a lot, sorry, I just need to jump in. Is there like, I know there's payment processors for all of this stuff, but I think, is there a way to create invoicing for Ethereum, like blockchain payments so that you can use it in your tax returns and stuff? Like, so it's legit, quote unquote.
I think Canada does have some sort of like legislation regarding cryptocurrencies and things along those lines. So I think you should be able to legally accept it and then do it on your taxes and things along those lines. But
No, I meant like automated like creation of invoices saying if you want to pay through Ethereum, this is how much it is in like fiat, this is how much it is in Ethereum. You have to pay it to this address, and when it's accepted, we'll close the amount.
honestly though, I don't know if there's a service like that, but there should be. Like, the exchanges are really missing out on this if you think about it. That's a huge gap. Imagine that's what an exchange does, converts fiat currency into crypto and back, right? They could literally provide an invoicing service where say you hook up your bank account with us and we will automatically convert any payments that come from you to the cryptocurrency currency and vice versa, right? And now there you go. I think there should be a service like that where it goes seamlessly one to one very quickly, where it just goes directly to fiat and then backwards.
I feel like any bank that might have done that is underwater right now.
The bank doesn't need to do it, right? What you
Oh, it's
need to do
exchange.
exactly. The exchange just needs to be able to convert the dollars and then automate if you have auto deposit on, they can send you money, right? Like for example, ShakePay, the way you send money to ShakePay is via e-transfer, right? All you need to do is automate the process in reverse, right? The moment you receive a cash inbound to your Bitcoin account or your exchange account, it just converts it to fiat and sends it to you.
I feel like the reason they don't is because of some regulations saying don't do this at all.
Fair enough. I think that would solve the problem, right? What Ali is saying is you brand it very professionally and say accept payments, etc., whatever, very easily, quickly, and the interface to send money should be fairly easy. I guess it goes to e-transfer again, though. It comes back to e-transfer. All you're doing is putting a layer on top of e-transfer.
But as long as it's smoother, like let's say you send this invoice, they just type in your email, type in your phone number, like log into your bank, and it's kind of like done, like approved, and then it's done, right? Because right now you get the invoice, you have to go to your own bank. You can't just click a button. You got to open up your bank's website. I guess how will they know what's your bank? E-transfers right now. E-transfer.
They don't know you. Yeah,
They
don't know
do.
your bank.
They usually have a top. It says top one. It says open up. It's usually defaults to my bank.
Hmm.
Do you guys not in the emails? Are you on auto deposit?
Yeah, I'm on auto deposit.
Okay, even auto deposit. How does it know what bank?
What bank to send it to?
Exactly.
So there's this system, there's a centralized system between all banks, and it's the one that has all the information,
So
right?
you could
And
do
so
a similar thing. Like it knows that when they click it, if it has like your email and like the parameters, it sends them the URL, and it knows what bank default to. And if it doesn't, then show a bunch of icons of like the different banks where you select your bank. However, e-transfers work right now. Just click it and then it but they're reverse, like you're saying, just inverse it.
Right.
I think what legit solution might be is to have something like that's your debit card but secure for online transactions. Like I think maybe like a prepaid debit card and use that so that
But
it has the ease of the credit card, but I guess since you're dealing with not credit but actual funds,
they're still high.
Those
like
are still high.
Stripe and all of them, yeah. Like it's still like Stripe.
No, I meant like something like Koho, like all those prepaid cards.
Who's gonna accept the card?
Well, they market it as like a Visa because it's Visa or MasterCard compatible.
Okay, but then you go to like the service provider that you're purchasing. You have one of these cards. You go to a service provider or whatever, getting like your plumber, and you want to use this card.
It works the same way as a credit card.
Exactly.
I'm just wondering. What I'm trying to say is that if you use one of these prepaid cards where there's no credit backing it up, it's actually your own funds. Like they should make charge on the merchant cheaper because you're not dealing with the insurance liability.
I agree. They should. I believe even debit cards they charge you the same fee.
That's ridiculous. If it's debit, no, I don't think that's the case because I remember
1%.
when
bank debits and transfers, 1% plus 40 cents.
That's still a lot. I'm surprised.
Plus $1 for instant
debit
verification, plus $5 for failures and disputes.
Jeez. For like a $10 burrito, that's a hefty charge to take on. Jeez, it's crazy. No wonder it's hard being a small business owner. They always say that like it's easy to run a business when you're very small or when you're very big. In the middle, it's like crazy hard because you're like inbounds between scaling and not getting there yet, and so you have to do like things in the middle, which is tough. Yeah, so I guess you have to target those businesses, find solutions for them because it's hard for them. Yeah, but yeah, I think it is a legitimate problem. I personally think you have a good idea in terms of how to solve it, but not sure if it's technically feasible just yet.
Not technically. Like,
sorry,
will it gain whatever solutions you come up with? Will it gain adoption? Because like I think e-transfer is viable for most businesses for day to day, but it's just as Ali was saying, like no one wants to seem like a mom and pop shop by accepting e-transfer. You know what I mean?
So, but the thing is, right? Like anybody who wanted to make a service like this, they'd be if you're not a bank or like large corporation, Interact is not going to sit down with you most likely. You know what I mean? And so it's like
we've tried.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's just I don't know how some of the big banks need to solve this, and they why would they? Right? They already have a monopoly over this, so it doesn't make any sense for them to do that. Anyways, well, good luck with that, Ali. I know that might be a problem for you, man. I hope somebody solves it or you find out a solution, and if you do, let us know in the next podcast. All right, take care, everyone.